Thankful to be here. Thankful just to be used by God. Sharing our testimonies, man, because that's how we encourage and just encourage others, man. If God can do it for me, He can do it for any one of us here. If it's according to our obedience, man, just submission, man. That's a big thing. Is not my will, but Your will, Lord. That Your will be done. Man, growing up, man, it's abusive household. My dad was always abusing my mom. They broke up, living from kind of place to place. My mom moving, my dad moving. We kind of got involved with drugs. The alcohol, man, that came later. I started smoking weed maybe around 10, 11, around 12. Started using hard stuff, maybe like 17. Picked up crystal meth, introduced by my brother's, one of my brother's best friends. And after that, man, it was like, I fell in love. Fell in love with that stuff, man. Just started using it. At first, I can handle it, man. Go a weekend and be like nothing Monday. But it was a pattern. What happens when we feed something, it's not from God. It's going to continue to grow, and continue to grow, and continue to grow. And we don't see it. We don't see it grow. And next thing you know, it's full-fledged, man. I'm out just robbing and stealing, man, and doing what I need to do to get my fix. Doing what I need to do to get my drugs, man. Doing what I need to do to get my alcohol. The start of the gang banging, man. That was real young, man, because what I seen, I duplicated. What was in my household, my father, my older brothers. I'm the youngest of 5, so what I seen, I duplicated it. They were in the gang. I started joining the gang, man. And did what they did because I thought it was cool. Because I thought that's the way to be a man, showing no emotion, showing no fear. Just that lifestyle, man. Which is I see now it's brought me. I learned a lot from that lifestyle, but man, I know how much my mind is corrupted because of that stuff, man. The wrong thinking, the wrong outlook on life, the wrong everything, man. It was just it's not good. It's not godly, man. And God calls us to be holy, man, to be set apart. And I started using, man. And that got real deep, going in and out of jail, getting busted, going in and out of jail, man. And it just kept on a continuing pattern. Had my daughter 2000. Let me go back a little bit. One of my brothers was shot and killed. They shot him in the face with a 12 gauge, man, like right in front of me. Blew his head off, man. And that really messed up my head. I just went into a deeper hole for a while, man. I lost it for some time, man. 2 years later, I ended up finding out my dad was killed. He died. And the cops ended up beating him, man. And so the 2 years later, on the same date, he passed away. So I'm still dealing with my brother's death. And now my dad dies, man. And that was a struggle, man. But my mom was always a strong woman of God, man. And she always prayed, and she always prayed, and she always prayed for all of her sons to come to the Lord, man. And she never gave up hope. Even though sometimes where she felt like she couldn't, she had to do the work, but man, God did it. God did it. She continued to pray because she continued to pray. And I thank her so much now for all the promise. All the prayers she's done in my life for me, for my brothers, for my family, man. Because it wasn't for her, honestly, I probably wouldn't know Christ. I wouldn't know him like I know. I knew him, but I didn't know. I didn't know him. You know what I mean? There's a difference. You can know of God and not know him personally on a personal level, man. And so I thank my mom for her prayers, man. And just kind of going in that lifestyle, man. And doing what just kind of living that lifestyle, man, of that gang life, man. Just in and out of jail, man. I never made it to prison. I don't know how. Tell me, I don't know how I didn't make it, but I thank God for that. And then 2014, I actually asked God to come into my life, and so I started going to church. Started baptized, and I kind of fell back. I was doing good. I ended up meeting a woman. And that just, I started to compromise, because I got sober. I wasn't using, I wasn't drinking, but I started to compromise. And so one day went out to Newport, and she drinks. And I said, okay, I'll just have one. Just have one beer. And that turned into a snowball effect, man, where it just, okay, I had one beer that weekend, and it was just, the next weekend was another beer, and then 12 pack, then 18 pack, and then I like hard liquor. And the hard liquor came out, and I was searching for dope. And I was just on a rampage, man. After that, going in and out of jail, man, and just robbing and stealing, man, and doing the most, man. And I came to 2017. I went to jail. Well, 2016, I went to jail, got out in early 2017, and I got busted the next day. Like 12 hours later, 8 hours later, I was out of jail. And then I was in the holding tank. I didn't see nobody, didn't talk to nobody, didn't call my mom, didn't call the family, didn't call my brothers. I didn't tell nobody. I didn't talk to nobody. And then I called my mom when I was in the holding tank. And I told her, hey. And she goes, oh, you're not out yet? I said, no, I got busted again. I'm back in jail. And I just heard the disappointment and the hurt that was in her voice, man. Like, wow, I can't believe it. Like, you just got out, And so I got on my knees in that holding tank, and I said, you know what, Lord? I'm done. So I prayed and I prayed and I prayed to him, Lord, turn this around, because we know what Romans 8:28 says, God will turn all things around for the good for those who love him, who are called according to his purpose. And that's exactly what he did. So we went to court. I asked the DA to get me into the program, because the first time I got busted before that, they offered me the program, and I was like, no, I'm good. I'll just do the time, I'll get out, you know what I mean? But this time, man, it was different. I want to change. Amen. Like, I want to change, man. Like, I knew it was either that lifestyle, prison, death, or insanity. Those are the three options. And I wanted that change, man. So I asked the DA, I said, I need a program. She says, they're not going to give it to you. You just got out. And they're not going to give it to you. So we're arguing back and forth. I said, do me a favor. Just go ask them. And so she did. They ended up giving me the program, man. And I went in there and I was like,
you have not because you asked not.
Yeah, right. And so I went in, man. They gave me the program, and I went into that program, and I said, Lord, like, whatever I got to do to change, whatever that takes, whatever that looks like, I'm open. I'm obedient. And man, I learned so much of that program, man. I learned how to communicate with people, because before, you even looked at me sideways, I'm hitting you in the mouth. Like I didn't communicate well, man. I didn't communicate well. That's what I seen. That's what I seen growing up. You know what I mean? That's what I seen. So that's what I did. And I was put in situations where, okay, I can go back to that old lifestyle and that old thinking and that old reaction, but I want to choose to respond rather than react, because they're two different things. We respond, we think about it, process it, come out the right way. Think about for what we say. Think about what we say before we say it. And that, like I said, I grown so much in that program, man. I was like, man, Lord, I'm yours. I want whatever you have for me. Whatever you have for me, I want it. And so I ended up finishing that program, man. I graduated. I left the program, and they called me back to be a resident manager. Like, Robert, you did so good through the program.
Yeah.
We want you to be the manager here. And so I thank God. Like, man, if people, sometimes you can't see things in yourself, but when other people see it, man, it's like they see change. And sometimes we can't see the change in ourselves, man. But it's working. God's working. If we let him, and just do our part. Just do our part. Show up every day, man. And so I came back. I was a resident manager there for about a good year and a half. And I tell you, that was a trial. That builds character right there. I got 4 different kinds of pee thrown at me because I called the dude out on a dirty test. And when I didn't react and I didn't blow up on that guy, I was like, man, Lord, like, you really are working. You really are working, man. You mean? And that was, man, yeah, I was like, thank you, Lord, man. You mean? Because before, like I said, I would rip that dude's hands off his legs off his body, man. You mean? And but that was the one point where I figured, man, Lord, you're changing me. You're changing me. And so yeah, I ended up being a res manager for a year and a half. Left there, got another job, man, and took a bus for like 3 hours. It took me 3 hours to get to work, man. I mean, and I said, you know, Lord, but this is what I want. I want to do good. I want to work. I want to provide, man, and whatever it takes, I want to do it. And I did it. And then I ended up buying a car, man. I ended up leaving that job, get another job, and then I went back to construction, man. And everything I have now, I know it's because of Him. Nothing I've done, I've just been obedient, man. You mean? And where I'm at now, man, I thank God for where I'm at now. I'm like, man, you know, I got my home, man. I got a couple of cars, man. I got my business, man. You mean? I got a good job. I got my relationship with my daughter is being restored. I mean, He's restoring, like it says in Joel 2, He will restore what the locusts stole from you. His word is true. He's never late. Even when sometimes we feel like He's not there, like one of the brothers said, He's there. Every step of the way, He'll never leave you nor forsake you. He'll never leave you nor forsake you, man. You mean? Yeah, you guys, I'm thankful for the opportunity to come share my testimony, man. I don't want to take up too much time because I can go on for a minute. But,
keep going, man. We like to hear this shit, man.
But thank you guys, man. I appreciate it, man. And God bless each and every one of you. And like I said earlier, man, if He can do it for me, He can do it for any one of us, man. He's no respecter of persons. No respecter of person. But we just got to submit and be obedient. Submit and be obedient, man. Thank you guys, man. I appreciate it. God bless.
God bless you too, man.
God bless you, man. Let's go ahead and give our brother a round of applause, man. Everything he went through, right? He has another story.